the NBA world has officially gone off the rails. In a shocking twist that no one saw coming, rumors are exploding across social media. Kevin Durant has reportedly been secretly recruiting Russell Westbrook to join him in Houston, of all places. Yes, you heard that right, the same Westbrook he once clashed with in Oklahoma City, the same dynamic that left fans divided for years, might be getting a wild reunion. But that's not all. Word on the street is Giannis Antetokounmpo has been spotted in private meetings with Warriors executives and LeBron James. Sources say he's been taking mysterious trips to New York, sparking chaos among Lakers fans who are demanding answers. The NBA offseason has turned into a full-blown soap opera, filled with late-night calls, locker room betrayals, and cryptic Instagram posts that have the entire sports world talking. Insiders are whispering about a super team pact forming behind closed doors, old rivalries being reignited, and friends turning into enemies overnight. Could Durant and Westbrook really bury the hatchet? Could Giannis actually ditch Milwaukee for Golden State? And is LeBron seriously ready to wear the orange and blue? Grab your popcorn, because this isn't just basketball anymore, it's drama season. It all started with a single emoji. One fire emoji from Kevin Durant under Russell Westbrook's latest workout video, and the internet went wild. Fans flooded the comments, posting eyes emojis, rocket ship memes, and screenshots of old photos of the two together back in OKC. It had been years since their fallout, years since Westbrook's icy press conferences and Durant's infamous move to Golden State. And yet, that one tiny gesture reopened old wounds and sparked new rumors. Insiders began whispering that Durant, now with the Houston Rockets, had reached out privately to Russ. Apparently, the two had been texting again. Not just casual, how's life, texts, but serious basketball talk, like the old days when they dreamed of rings and legacies. Durant's circle was reportedly split. Some of his friends thought it was a brilliant move. Westbrook's fire and energy could reignite Houston, turning them into instant contenders. Others said it was dangerous, that history would just repeat itself. One source close to KD said, Kevin feels like he owes Russ something. He's older now, more reflective. He wants to make things right, but he also wants to win. Meanwhile, Westbrook's side was just as conflicted. His agent, his brother Ray, and even his wife Nina were skeptical. Nina, in particular, was said to have told him, "You already gave that man everything once. Are you really ready to do that again?" Fans were split right down the middle. One half was rooting for redemption, saying things like if Kobe and Shaq could move past their feud, maybe Russ and KD can too. The other half was screaming betrayal, calling it the fakest move of the year and accusing both of chasing clout. ESPN analysts began dissecting every move, from Westbrook's latest gym location to the color of Durant's sneakers at practice. Rumors swirled that Durant had even reached out to Rockets management, pushing for Westbrook to be their next trade target. One insider leaked a message allegedly sent by KD to a team executive, "Bring him here. We're not done yet." Then came the private flight. Paparazzi caught Westbrook boarding a jet in Los Angeles late at night, reportedly heading to Houston. The story blew up overnight, Westbrook flying to meet Durant, OKC Reunion 2.0, Houston's new super duo. Social media erupted. People were refreshing flight trackers, debating jersey numbers, and even making mock-up posters of the two in Rockets uniforms. But what no one expected was who else was on that plane: Giannis Antetokounmpo's agent, Alex Saratzis. That's when things took an even stranger turn. Apparently, Giannis had been quietly exploring his options too. After another frustrating season in Milwaukee, sources said he was growing restless. The Warriors, according to several insiders, had been laying the groundwork for months. Steph Curry had reached out personally, inviting Giannis to his off-season camp in San Francisco. One insider said, Giannis respects Steph. He likes how Golden State runs their system, how everyone eats. The rumor was that Durant had somehow gotten wind of this, and was furious. After all, KD once wore that Golden State jersey. If Giannis joined them now, it would rewrite the super team era all over again, and KD didn't want to see that happen without him in the mix. Durant's recruiting mission took on a new tone. It wasn't just about reconnecting with Westbrook, it was about forming something bigger, something that could rival anything the Warriors or Lakers were planning. Apparently, he'd started calling it the final run during one late-night call, reportedly overheard by a mutual friend. KD told Russ, "We're not kids anymore. We know the game now. It's time to take back what's ours." Westbrook was quiet at first. He said something like, "You broke that once. How do I know you won't break it again?" There was a long pause. KD just replied, "Because I already did, and I've been paying for it ever since." Meanwhile, LeBron James was watching all of this unfold like a chess master from his mansion in Brentwood. Multiple sources said LeBron had been seen dining in Manhattan, taking late-night meetings with Knicks executives. One fan snapped a blurry photo of him leaving a private club with Knicks owner James Dolan. Within hours, #LeBronTalkniks was trending #1. Reporters claimed that LeBron was considering one final challenge, bringing a championship to New York. His inner circle was buzzing. Maverick Carter was allegedly pushing the narrative, calling it the perfect Hollywood ending, but not everyone agreed. Bronny, according to a family insider, wasn't thrilled about moving to New York. He reportedly told his dad, "You're chasing ghosts, man." The NBA world was officially in chaos. Three of the biggest names in basketball, Durant, Giannis, and LeBron, all linked to new teams, all in secret talks, all with emotional baggage and unfinished business. The league office even started monitoring communications, worried that tampering was happening on a massive scale. Adam Silver was said to be deeply concerned about the optics, but behind closed doors, he also knew it was good for ratings. Drama sells, and this was shaping up to be the most dramatic offseason in years. Back in Houston, Durant and Westbrook finally met face-to-face for the first time in almost 6 years. It happened in a private gym, late at night, with no cameras. Just two old rivals, alone with the sound of bouncing basketballs echoing off the walls. According to someone who was there, the atmosphere was tense at first. Neither spoke for a long time. KD finally broke the silence, saying, "You still play angry." Russ shot back, "You still talk too much." They both laughed, awkwardly, but it was something. Then they started shooting around, one-on-one, just like the old days. Hours passed, and something shifted. By the end of the night, they were talking schemes, lineups, possibilities. Westbrook reportedly told KD, "If I do this, it's not for you. It's for me." KD nodded. "That's exactly why it'll work this time." The next morning, photos leaked. Grainy, but clear enough, Durant and Westbrook together in that Houston gym. ESPN went into full meltdown mode. Skip Bayless called it the biggest twist since LeBron's decision. Shannon Sharpe laughed and said, "These boys can't quit each other." Twitter was on fire. Memes of KD texting, "You up?" to Russ flooded timelines. Analysts debated whether Houston had enough cap space, whether egos could really coexist again, and whether the league was ready for another super duo born out of chaos. The NBA had officially turned into a reality show, and everyone was watching. Behind the scenes, things were just as explosive. Rockets management was divided. The general manager was intrigued by the star power, but the head coach reportedly had reservations. "You can't have two alphas," he told the staff. "Someone's gotta lead, someone's gotta follow." And neither of those guys follow. Durant's camp fired back, saying, "We're building culture, not hierarchy." Tensions grew. Even within the team, players started whispering. One young player told reporters anonymously, "If Westbrook comes here, everything changes. Either we win big or it all blows up." And as Houston burned with speculation, the Warriors moved quietly. Reports surfaced that Giannis had flown to San Francisco under the radar. Fans spotted him having dinner with Steve Kerr and Steph Curry at a private restaurant near the Bay. When questioned by the media, Steph smirked and said, "We were just talking life," but everyone knew it wasn't just life. Insiders claimed that the Warriors were preparing a blockbuster trade offer that could shock the league. KD, upon hearing this, was livid. He reportedly told a friend, "They're trying to replace me with him." That friend said Durant went silent after that, just stared out the window. Like he was reliving the betrayal all over again. And so the stage was set. KD and Westbrook, potential redemption. Giannis, potential betrayal. LeBron, potential farewell. The NBA's biggest names were crossing paths in ways no one could have predicted. And all of it was just getting started. The morning after those leaked photos of Durant and Westbrook in that Houston gym, the NBA world was in absolute chaos. News outlets ran non-stop coverage, fans were arguing online, and the Rockets' front office was scrambling to control the narrative. Durant stayed silent, refusing interviews, while Westbrook posted a cryptic story, just the words, "unfinished business," written in red over a black screen. That post alone broke the internet. It was shared millions of times, dissected by analysts, and even reposted by some of Westbrook's old teammates from OKC. It wasn't confirmation, but it wasn't denial either. It was just enough to keep everyone guessing. In Houston, Durant's camp went into lockdown. His agent and PR team held a meeting early that morning, warning him that this could backfire fast. They reminded him of the backlash he got when he joined Golden State years ago, the headlines calling him soft, the fans burning his jerseys. KD listened quietly, then said, "They're gonna talk no matter what I do. At least this time I'm doing it on my terms." There was a pause. One of his advisors said, "Kevin, you need to understand, if you bring Russ here and it doesn't work, you'll never live it down." Durant just smiled and replied, "Then we make it work." Westbrook, on the other hand, was battling his own storm. His brother Ray reportedly told him not to rush into anything, reminding him of how things fell apart the last time. "He left you hanging once," Ray said. "What makes you think he won't do it again?" Westbrook didn't answer right away. He was pacing the room, replaying memories in his head, the games, the interviews, the headlines. Finally, he said, "Maybe he needs me this time." Nina, listening from the couch, frowned. "And what about you, Russ? What do you need?" Westbrook looked down, sighed, and said softly, "I need peace." Meanwhile, LeBron was watching the media circus unfold with a smirk. Insiders say he called one of his closest friends in the league and said, "Let them fight it out. New York's waiting for me." Those around him described LeBron as unusually quiet but focused. The Knicks rumors were no longer just whispers, they were headlines. Photos of him meeting with Knicks executives were plastered everywhere. One reporter claimed that LeBron had already started looking at penthouses in Manhattan. Lakers fans panicked. Talk shows debated whether this was the end of an era. Shannon Sharpe called it the biggest betrayal in Lakers history if true, yet LeBron stayed silent, letting the chaos fuel the mystery. And in the middle of all that noise, Giannis made his move. It started subtly, a change in his Instagram bio, removing Milwaukee and replacing it with a globe emoji. Fans noticed immediately. Within hours, videos surfaced of Giannis in San Francisco, laughing with Steph Curry during a private workout session. When asked by a reporter what they were doing together, Steph simply said, "Just hooping with friends," but everyone knew it was more than that. Golden State insiders were already whispering about trade scenarios. One source claimed the Warriors were prepared to offer a package centered around Andrew Wiggins and multiple first-round picks. It was clear, Giannis to the Warriors wasn't just a fantasy anymore, it was a plan. Durant heard the news that same evening. According to someone close to him, he was livid. He reportedly slammed his phone down and said, "They're doing it again. They're building another empire without me." Westbrook, who was still in Houston, was there when KD found out. For the first time in years, Russ was the calm one. He put a hand on Durant's shoulder and said, "Let it go, man. We can build our own." That line, those words, they hit Durant differently. Something shifted in that moment. For once, it wasn't about revenge. It was about legacy. It was about proving that two old rivals could rewrite their story. But things took a darker turn when the NBA began investigating. Rumors of tampering reached the commissioner's office. Anonymous emails were sent, alleging that Durant had personally contacted Westbrook about joining Houston weeks before the season ended, a clear violation of league rules. Adam Silver ordered an internal review. ESPN and Fox Sports had a field day with it, calling it the Tampergate scandal. Durant, when asked by a reporter, simply replied, "People talk. That's all this is, talk." But privately, his team was panicking. Fines, suspensions, even voided trades were on the table if evidence surfaced. Westbrook's camp was told to distance himself publicly, but Russ refused. "If they're coming for him, they're coming for me too," he said. The internet was eating it all up. Hashtags like #reunited, #Tampergate, and #SuperDiamdrama were trending for days. Fans made parody videos, memes, even fake movie trailers of the return of Russ and KD, but under the laughter, there was tension, real tension. Other players were starting to take sides. Damian Lillard tweeted a single word, "weak." Luka Doncic responded with a laughing emoji. Even Draymond Green chimed in, tweeting, "This league crazy." That one tweet alone was enough to set fire to the rumor that Draymond had personally warned Giannis about joining Golden State. Apparently, Draymond told him, "Trust me, super teams come with super drama." Amid all this noise, Durant decided to go silent again. No tweets, no interviews, no comments. Instead, he channeled everything into training. Witnesses said he was working out 6 hours a day, barely speaking to anyone except Westbrook. One insider described it as therapy through sweat. Westbrook, too, was more focused than ever. The two were spotted at a local Houston high school gym, running drills, scrimmaging with young players. Fans lined up outside hoping to catch a glimpse. One video clip leaked showing KD yelling, "We're back," after hitting a deep three over Russ, and the internet lost its mind. Was this confirmation? Were they really teaming up again? The Rockets' front office couldn't stay quiet any longer. The general manager finally addressed the media, saying, "Kevin's under contract, and we're always looking at ways to improve the team. That's all I'll say." It wasn't denial, and everyone knew it. Whispers grew louder that a blockbuster trade was already in the works. One rumor suggested that Houston was preparing to trade 2 starters to clear cap space, making room for Westbrook's deal. The locker room got tense. Younger players started worrying about their spots. One player was overheard saying, "They're turning this place into OKC 2.0. Meanwhile, in Milwaukee, Giannis was facing backlash. Fans were furious over the rumors. Protests formed outside the arena. One banner read, "Loyalty over legacy." Giannis tried to calm things down by tweeting, "Don't believe everything you read," but that only fueled more speculation. Reporters noted that he didn't outright deny the rumors. A teammate, speaking anonymously, said, "He's torn. He loves Milwaukee, but he wants to win. And he's tired of being the only one blamed. When they lose, sources claimed that Curry had personally promised Giannis that joining Golden State would take the pressure off, and for a man who's carried his franchise alone for years, that promise was tempting. Back in New York, LeBron made his move. One night, a video surfaced showing him walking into Madison Square Garden with a hoodie pulled low. The clip was grainy but unmistakable. The caption read, "The King visits the Garden." The next morning, the Knicks' official Twitter account posted a cryptic message, just a crown emoji and a basketball. That was all it took. The sports world erupted. Some said LeBron was trolling. Others believed the deal was already done. Rumors claimed he wanted to finish his career on the biggest stage in basketball, playing under the bright lights of New York City. A source close to him told reporters, "This isn't about rings anymore. It's about legacy. It's about doing something nobody else could." As LeBron's potential move gained traction, Durant started to feel the pressure. He knew that if LeBron joined the Knicks and Giannis joined the Warriors, Houston would have to do something massive to compete. Westbrook sensed it too. Their conversations grew more intense. One night, after a long workout, Russ told KD, "You sure this ain't about chasing them again?" Durant didn't hesitate. "No," he said. "This time it's about beating them." Russ nodded, finally seeing the fire in Durant's eyes that had been missing for years. But even as their bond strengthened, the walls around them were closing in. Houston's head coach began voicing doubts to the media, saying, "Talent wins games, but chemistry wins championships. You can't fake that." Fans started debating whether KD and Russ could really coexist again. Old clips resurfaced of their past arguments, their cold handshakes, their awkward press conferences. The internet was ruthless. "This movie flopped the first time," one fan tweeted. But others were hopeful. "Everyone loves a redemption story," wrote another. And that was exactly what this was becoming, a story of redemption, rivalry, and revenge, all rolled into one. By the end of that week, the league had never been so divided. Some fans wanted to see the chaos burn, others wanted to see the legends rise again. But one thing was certain, the off-season wasn't over yet. And behind closed doors, even bigger moves were being plotted. Because in the NBA, loyalty lasts until the next offer comes in. And for Durant, Westbrook, Giannis, and LeBron, the offers, and the betrayals, were just beginning. The days that followed were pure madness. Houston became the center of the basketball universe, and every move Kevin Durant made was being watched, dissected, and theorized about. The media parked outside his condo, hoping to catch a glimpse of Westbrook showing up again. Fans started gathering near the Rockets' practice facility, waving homemade signs that said things like "Bring Russ home" and "Forgive and dominate." Inside the facility, though, things weren't as simple. Rockets players were starting to feel uneasy. Rumors that two veterans were about to be traded had shaken the locker room. One player even told reporters off the record, "Everyone's walking on eggshells. It's like we're waiting for an explosion." Behind the scenes, Durant was meeting privately with the team owner and general manager. One insider said KD came in calm but determined. He told them, "If you want to win now, this is how we do it. We bring Russ in, and we build a system around pace and chaos. That's how we'll destroy everyone." The GM hesitated, reminding Durant that chemistry mattered as much as talent. KD just leaned back in his chair and said, "Chemistry's built by winning." The owner, intrigued by the star power, reportedly gave a simple nod. "Make the call," he said. That was the green light. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, LeBron James was making his own waves. Photos of him leaving a Manhattan hotel had gone viral, and sports shows couldn't stop talking about it. The narrative was shifting fast, from "Is LeBron leaving the Lakers?" to "When is he announcing it?" Insiders claimed he had spoken with Knicks front office members for hours about building a legacy roster. One rumor said he even mentioned wanting to play with his son Bronny in Madison Square Garden. Calling it the dream scenario, social media blew up. Knicks fans flooded timelines with edited images of LeBron in blue and orange. While Lakers fans begged him to stay, some even posting tearful videos saying, "Don't do us like this, King." Back in Houston, Russell Westbrook was still wrestling with his decision. He had flown back to Los Angeles after meeting with Durant, but their conversation haunted him. Every time he picked up a basketball, he could hear KD's voice saying, "We're not done yet." Even his workouts started to feel different. People around him noticed. His trainer said, "He's got that fire again, but it's not anger, it's something else. Like he's trying to prove something, but not to anyone else. Just to himself." Finally, after days of silence, Westbrook made a move that shocked everyone. He showed up at a Houston restaurant with Durant and the Rockets owner. Paparazzi snapped the moment. 3 of them sitting at a table, laughing. The photo went viral instantly. The caption practically wrote itself, "It's happening." The NBA world went into meltdown. ESPN anchors called it a power shift in progress. Fox Sports ran a headline that read, "Durant and Westbrook, reborn in Houston?" But just as fans were ready to celebrate their reunion, another storm began brewing. Giannis was about to shake the league to its core. Within hours of that photo hitting the internet, reports surfaced that the Warriors had finalized a trade framework for Giannis. The details were murky, but insiders claimed the deal was massive: multiple picks, a rising young star, and salary swaps that would clear space for the Greek freak. When word reached Durant, he reportedly went silent again. According to one of his close friends, he just sat there, staring at his phone. He didn't say a word for 10 minutes. The irony was cruel. Once again, the Warriors were building something unstoppable, and KD was on the outside looking in. That night, Durant called Westbrook. The conversation, according to a leaked transcript from someone who overheard parts of it, was tense. KD said, "You see what they're doing? They're stacking the deck again." Westbrook replied, "Yeah, and we're supposed to care?" Durant shot back, "You don't get it, man. This ain't just about them. This is about us. About what they think we can't do." Russ paused, then said, "I get it. But if we're doing this, it's gotta be real. No fake brotherhood, no politics. Just hoop." KD agreed. No more fakeness. No more running. It was their truce, sealed not with handshakes or hugs, but with shared purpose. As word of their conversation spread, fans started calling them the Redemption Duo. Houston's ticket sales spiked overnight. Local businesses began printing shirts that said, "Unfinished business," yet not everyone was excited. Rockets veterans were nervous, and some reportedly approached the coaching staff to express concern about the shift in team dynamics. One said, "It's cool to have legends, but are we supposed to just stand aside?" The coach, equally unsure, tried to reassure them, but even he knew things were spiraling beyond his control. Ownership was chasing headlines now, not balance. Meanwhile, Giannis arrived in San Francisco under heavy security to meet with Warriors executives. The meeting, according to leaks, lasted 6 hours. Steve Kerr reportedly showed him a detailed plan of how the team would evolve with him on board. "We're not asking you to be KD," Kerr allegedly said. "We're asking you to be you." That line hit hard. Giannis had always felt overshadowed by Durant's ghost in Golden State. The thought of building something new instead of inheriting something old appealed to him. The next day, Giannis was spotted training at the Warriors facility. It wasn't official yet, but it might as well have been. The NBA office tried to keep things calm, but Commissioner Adam Silver was overwhelmed. Leaks were everywhere, and the tampering investigation had expanded. Anonymous reports claimed LeBron himself had been calling players from other teams to discuss future opportunities. Silver held a press conference, urging teams to respect the integrity of the league. But fans didn't care about integrity, they cared about drama. And they were getting plenty of it. LeBron, as usual, stayed 10 steps ahead. That week, he posted a picture of himself in the gym wearing a Knicks-colored headband with the caption, "Heavy is the head that wears the crown." It wasn't confirmation, but it was all the confirmation the internet needed. Even New York's mayor tweeted, "The king belongs in the city that never sleeps." Lakers fans were in shambles, burning jerseys again, just like when he left Cleveland. The NBA wasn't just a sport anymore, it was a reality show playing out in real time, and LeBron, Durant, Westbrook, and Giannis were the lead characters. Back in Houston, the reunion was almost complete. Rockets management began negotiating with Westbrook's team, trying to finalize contract details. The story broke midway through the night. Houston makes formal offer to Westbrook. The internet exploded. KD reposted a fire emoji again, and Westbrook replied with a handshake emoji. Fans went wild. Yet behind that surface-level excitement, there was something brewing inside KD. His friends noticed it. He wasn't celebrating like everyone else. He looked restless, uneasy. One friend said, "It's like he's happy, but haunted. Like he's waiting for something to go wrong." That something came faster than anyone expected. Just a day after Houston's offer went public, reports surfaced that Giannis had verbally committed to Golden State. The timing was brutal. The news dropped right in the middle of Houston's press cycle, completely stealing the spotlight. The headlines flipped instantly, from "Durant reunites with Westbrook" to "Giannis joins Curry in Golden Dynasty." It was déjà vu. Durant's old nightmare repeating itself, almost frame for frame. He reportedly threw his phone across the room when he saw the headline. "Again," he muttered. "They did it again." Westbrook tried to calm him down, saying, "Let them have their story. We'll write ours." But deep down, everyone could see it, that old bitterness creeping back into Durant's eyes. And as if that wasn't enough chaos, a shocking twist hit the NBA that very night. Reports broke that LeBron had officially requested a trade from the Lakers. Sources close to him claimed he was committed to finishing his career in New York. It was official, LeBron was going to the Knicks. Fans poured into the streets of Manhattan, chanting his name. The NBA world completely lost its mind. Social media went into total meltdown. One viral tweet said, "Durant and Westbrook reunite, Giannis joins Warriors, LeBron to Knicks. This league is a movie and they weren't wrong." In just a matter of days, the NBA had transformed. Houston was now the emotional center, Golden State was the powerhouse again, and New York, the mecca of basketball, finally had its king. But under all the excitement, tensions were boiling. Durant's old wounds reopened, Westbrook's trust was being tested, Giannis was stepping into a legacy that once belonged to KD, and LeBron was preparing to carry an entire city's hope on his shoulders. It felt like the calm before a storm that everyone knew was coming but no one could predict. Because when egos, ambition, and history collide in the NBA, there's only one guarantee: nothing stays peaceful for long. Houston was on fire, not literally, but emotionally, spiritually, and absolutely in the headlines. The city pulsed with anticipation as every sports bar, every corner conversation, and every radio show revolved around one thing: the reunion of Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. Cameras followed their every step, from practice sessions to dinner outings. The Rockets team store couldn't keep up with the demand for KD and Russ jerseys. Fans were crying in interviews, saying things like, "I never thought I'd see them together again." It was chaos, joy, and disbelief all mixed into one. But behind the smiles and press photos, the cracks were already forming. Durant and Westbrook were practicing together again, but their old habits were creeping back. Westbrook was as intense as ever, refusing to lose even in scrimmages. Durant, ever the perfectionist, would quietly fume when Westbrook ignored open teammates or took a wild shot. One assistant coach described it as watching two volcanoes in a small room. At first, they masked the tension with laughter, old jokes, and friendly banter. But late one night, after a grueling practice, the tension finally broke. Witnesses say they got into a shouting match after Russ missed a defensive rotation. "You still think you gotta do it all yourself?" Durant yelled. Westbrook shot back, "And you still think you can control everything?" They went back and forth, voices echoing through the empty gym, until finally, both just stood there breathing hard. Then, in a surprising twist, they started laughing. "We're the same," Westbrook said. Durant nodded slowly. "Yeah," he said, "that's the problem, and the solution." Meanwhile, Giannis was being introduced as the newest member of the Golden State Warriors. The press conference was a spectacle. Cameras flashed, reporters shouted questions, and Giannis, smiling but clearly overwhelmed, said, "I just want to win and learn from the best." That soundbite went viral within seconds. The Warriors fans were ecstatic, chanting his name, holding up posters that read, "Welcome to the Dynasty," but not everyone was happy. Durant's fans flooded social media, claiming Golden State had stolen KD's blueprint. Memes flooded timelines showing Giannis in KD's shadow. Captions reading, "History repeats itself." Steph Curry brushed it off in interviews, saying, "We're just focused on basketball." But behind the scenes, insiders claimed he'd warned Giannis that the pressure would be like nothing he'd ever faced. LeBron's arrival in New York was equally cinematic. Madison Square Garden was packed for his first press conference. Fans held up banners that read, "Hail the King of New York." LeBron, wearing a crisp blue suit, smiled and said, "I've always loved this city. This is where legends become eternal." The crowd roared. Even the Knicks' longtime critics were calling it the biggest moment in franchise history, but Lakers fans were heartbroken. Anthony Davis posted a cryptic story that said, "Loyalty means everything," which only fueled rumors of a falling out between him and LeBron. The NBA was officially split into three storylines: Durant and Westbrook's redemption arc, Giannis' golden era, and LeBron's final quest. Adam Silver, watching all this unfold, was reportedly both thrilled and terrified. Ratings were soaring, but so were controversies. Reporters began digging into the behind-the-scenes communication between players. Leaked messages hinted that Durant and LeBron had been in contact during the chaos, discussing how to control the narrative. When questioned about it, Durant laughed and said, "People love to invent stories. The truth is, we're all just trying to play ball." But everyone knew it wasn't that simple. This wasn't just basketball anymore, it was ego, power, and legacy colliding in full view of the world. As preseason approached, the Rockets officially announced Westbrook's return. The press conference was tense but emotional. Durant took the mic first, saying, "We've been through a lot, but this is about growth. It's about finishing what we started." Westbrook followed, his voice steady. "This ain't about forgiveness. It's about fire." Reporters went crazy, snapping photos, shouting questions. One asked if they trusted each other now. Russ paused before answering, "We'll find out." It was the perfect line, honest, raw, and filled with drama. Fans ate it up, but insiders felt the chill behind the words. On social media, fans started calling this new Houston team the Redemption Rockets. They were the talk of every sports show. Skip Bayless called them the most volatile duo in NBA history, while Shannon Sharpe grinned and said, "You can't script this any better." Meanwhile, Giannis' first few practices in Golden State looked like highlight reels. Videos leaked of him dunking over teammates, hitting corner threes, laughing with Curry. The chemistry was instant, and analysts began predicting another Warriors dynasty. One viral headline read, "Giannis doing what Durant couldn't, fitting in." Durant saw that headline. He didn't say anything publicly, but those close to him said it lit a fire inside him. He started training harder, staying in the gym until midnight. Westbrook, seeing him there night after night, finally said, "Man, what are you chasing?" Durant replied, "Not a ring. Respect." That line hit Westbrook deeply. It reminded him why he came, not to relive the past, but to rewrite it. Opening night arrived. Rockets vs Warriors. It was poetic, the past and present colliding in a single arena. The crowd was electric. Cameras zoomed in on Durant and Giannis during warm-ups, neither looking at the other. Westbrook bounced the ball hard, eyes burning with focus. Curry grinned, whispering something to Giannis. The game started fast. Houston played with emotion, Westbrook attacking the rim like it owed him money, Durant hitting deep shots with surgical precision. But Golden State's chemistry was flawless. Giannis dominated the paint, blocking shots and slamming dunks that shook the building. The lead went back and forth, every possession dripping with tension. In the final minute, Houston was down by 2. Durant had the ball. The crowd roared. Giannis guarded him tightly, eyes locked. KD faked left, drove right, and hit a pull-up jumper. Tie game. The arena exploded. Golden State took a timeout. Westbrook walked past Durant and said, "We're not losing this one." The final play came down to Giannis driving against Westbrook. Russ, smaller but unyielding, took the charge. The whistle blew. Offensive foul. Houston ball. 7 seconds left. The ball went to Durant again. He dribbled, stepped back over Giannis, and drained the jumper at the buzzer. Game over. Houston won. The arena fell silent except for the Rockets bench erupting in joy. Durant and Westbrook hugged briefly, both smiling, both shaking their heads like they couldn't believe it. It was redemption, at least for one night. Social media exploded instantly. Durant silences Golden State. Westbrook redeems himself. The Kings of Chaos rise again. Fans flooded timelines with celebratory posts. Even LeBron, watching from New York, tweeted, "That's how you write a story." But the win didn't erase the tension, it only magnified it. Durant's expression during the post-game interview said it all. When a reporter asked if this win meant revenge, he replied softly, "Nah. Just the beginning." Westbrook, beside him, nodded and added, "The league woke up tonight." Over the next few weeks, the drama only intensified. LeBron debuted for the Knicks, dropping a triple-double in his first game and dedicating it to "the city that never sleeps." New York erupted in joy. Giannis and Curry began demolishing teams in the West, while Houston battled through emotional highs and lows. Reports surfaced that Durant and Westbrook had clashed again during practice, with teammates having to separate them. One source said, "They're brothers, they fight hard and play harder." Fans began treating their relationship like a reality show, rooting for them to stay united but secretly waiting for another blow-up. As the season unfolded, the NBA was more unpredictable than ever. Golden State looked unstoppable, New York was rising, and Houston, despite internal chaos, had heart. Every game felt personal. Durant vs Giannis became must-watch TV. LeBron vs KD reignited their long-standing rivalry. Even casual fans were hooked. It wasn't just sports anymore, it was storytelling at its purest, with pride, pain, and redemption at the center. Then came the All-Star break. Durant and Giannis were named captains. During the televised draft, the tension was thick. When Giannis picked Curry, the crowd cheered. When Durant picked Westbrook, the internet exploded. Then came the twist, LeBron was picked last, a symbolic moment that sent shockwaves across social media. Durant smirked slightly as he announced the pick. "Gotta have the king," he said. LeBron just smiled coldly and replied, "Hope you can handle the crown this time." The arena went silent for a second before bursting into laughter. But under that laughter was history, layered, messy, unforgettable. By the end of the season, every storyline had evolved. LeBron led the Knicks to the playoffs for the first time in a decade. Giannis and the Warriors broke records with their dominant run. And Houston? They fought their way into contention through sheer will. Durant and Westbrook still argued, still challenged each other, but they also lifted each other in ways no one expected. After a crucial playoff win, Durant was asked if he and Russ were finally at peace. He smiled and said, "Peace? Nah, we're too competitive for peace. But we understand each other now." Fans loved it. Analysts called it the greatest NBA season ever, a mix of talent, chaos, and human emotion. The final image of the season wasn't a championship trophy. Or a highlight reel, it was Durant and Westbrook walking off the court together, side by side, not saying a word but knowing that, after all the noise, all the drama, and all the betrayal, they'd finally written their own story. And for the first time in years, both of them looked freed out, and just like that, the NBA was never the same again. The alliances, the betrayals, the redemption arcs, it all felt like something out of a movie. Durant and Westbrook, once bitter rivals, now brothers in battle. Giannis rewriting history in Golden State, carrying the weight of a dynasty. And LeBron, standing tall in New York, proving that even at the twilight of his career, the king still reigns wherever he goes. But the real question is, what happens next? Will Durant and Westbrook's fragile truce hold when the pressure mounts? Will Giannis be able to carry the Warriors' legacy without cracking under the comparisons? And can LeBron truly bring glory to a city that's been chasing dreams? For decades, fans are already speculating online. Some say the Rockets' chemistry won't last, others swear Durant and Russ are about to shock the world. Every tweet, every leaked quote, every side-eye during a press conference adds another layer to the drama. And that's what makes it so addictive. Because this isn't just about basketball anymore, it's about pride, forgiveness, and unfinished business. And as the playoffs approach, the tension is reaching a boiling point. So now it's your turn, what do you think? Is this the ultimate redemption story, or just another ticking time bomb waiting to explode? Will Giannis surpass Durant's golden era, or will KD reclaim his crown with Russ by his side? And can LeBron really end his career with a championship in New York City? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear every wild prediction, every hot take, every emotional rant. And if you loved this roller coaster of NBA drama, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Because if you think this season was wild, just wait, the next chapter in this saga is already being written. This is the NBA like you've never seen it before, unpredictable, emotional, and absolutely explosive. Stay tuned, because the drama's only just getting started.